I shall name you Kenneth II. The worm has found a new home within the holes of the rotten apple.
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy.
If you're looking for Father Roach, he won't be back until tomorrow.
Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
I don't, pet.
Not to worry. Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
Is that a village near Erdlow?
No, never mind. These box pews are most unusual. I've never seen any quite so tall.
We Bewlay folk like our privacy. Many of the pews are owned by individual families.
Some might accuse you of hiding secrets.
Now, pet.
I jest.
At my age, it's hard to climb in and out of them. I'd rather stand.
What do you make of these stones?
They are not Christian. I'm certain of that.
I agree. Much older, I feel.
Older than Christianity? Oh, the youth of today.
I found out my father visited Bewlay some 25 years ago. William Bateman, perhaps you remember him?
Bateman? William Bateman? I remember a William Baldwin. He were a right miserable sod.
My father was only in Bewlay briefly, from what I understand. I'm trying to piece together what he was doing here.
You'll have to ask him. I don't recall anyone of that name.
My father took part in an excavation at Hob's Barrow. Do you recall the excavation?
I concern myself only with matters related to the church. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful.
Where is Father Roach?
You might have noticed the good father has a green thumb. He's gone to visit his friend in the countryside to purchase some seedlings for his tower garden.
Where is Father Roach's tower garden?
Why, on top of St. Edmund's, of course. He's got a lovely collection of cuttings up there. You'll have to ask him to show you.
It does sound rather pleasant. It's a shame he's not around.
Well, he does have a spare key for the tower door somewhere.
Do you know where Father Roach keeps his spare key?
No, that's his business. If I did know, I'd fetch it myself and take you up there.
Not to worry.
I do recall him saying he hid it outside somewhere, for safekeeping, like. Were it in the graveyard? Oh, I don't know. Best wait till he gets back, pet.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
In memory of... This plaque is surrounded by cracking... In memory of... This plaque is... In memory of Romeo... This plaque... I think I can chip away at this plaster. Despite the cracks, the plaster is stronger than it... I think I can chip away at this plaster. There's a key behind here. This has to be Father Roach's spare. It's locked. Capital. A small label on the pot reads flirtwort. This is just what I need. I should put the key back. There. Good day. I have the ingredients you asked for.
Wonderful. Hand them over. No, this is not elderflower. It's cowbane. An easy mistake to make. The two look very similar.
Oh,
It's safe to eat, as long as you're not a cow. Very toxic to cattle.
where can I find some elderflower?
There used to be quite a few elder plants growing here in Herne Wood, but they've long since gone. Nowadays, you might find the shrub growing within a hedgerow or a private garden.
I see. What does elderflower look like?
Elderflowers are small, white, and grow in clumps on the elder shrub. Elder shrubs can grow in all shapes and sizes. Just look out for the clumps of tiny white flowers.
Hello, Jane.
Miss, watch me juggle.
Very impressive.
I can juggle even more apples.
I dare you to juggle an extra apple.
Easy. Yuck, a worm!
No, that's not it. I'm not sure they would be... I'm not sure... No, that won't...
Be careful with your apples.
Sorry, miss.
Hello again, little worm. I dare you to juggle an extra apple.
Easy. Yuck, a worm!
I managed to swap them without her noticing. Good day. I have the ingredients you asked for.
Wonderful. Hand them over. There you go. Tell Mr. Bryden to apply this poultice to the area in question. It works wonders.
Thank you very much.
Yes?
I've got a poultice for your joints, Mr. Bryden. It was prepared by Mildred Walker.
Who?
You may know her as Mother Mildred.
Oh, thank you, lass. That Mildred knows what she's doing. I should have thought to see it myself.
She said to apply it directly to where the pain is. It should work very swiftly.
I'll give it a try. Oh, that did the trick, lass. I feel like a lad of 20 again. I suppose you'll be wanting me to milk old Eunice for you in return.
If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it.
A fair exchange. Stand well back, lass.
Believe me, I'm not coming an inch closer.
There you are, lass. Some fresh milk.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bryden. I'll let the worm enjoy his new home. I've got a pail of fresh milk here for you, Miss Tompkins.
You haven't?
Here.
Mum, you've saved my hide. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I'm worried about Mr. Ambrose. Any road, I'm heading back to Panswick Manor now. Would you still like to meet his lordship?
Very much so.
Now, I can't guarantee you'll be home, all right? He's a very busy man.
I'll take my chances.
Follow me, then. Come on over. It's not much further.
What time do you call this?
Sorry, Mum.
Give it here, then. What the hell is this muck?
Goat's milk, Mum.
You daft bint! Since when does his lordship take goat's milk with his tea? Oh, he will not be pleased. Get back to your sweeping before I clip you over the head.
Sorry, Mum.
Hello there.
Bugger off, you whelp. This is private land.
I was wondering if it might be possible to speak with Lord Panswick.
Are you deaf, girl? Don't make me fetch the guards. They're armed, you know. By Christ, you're like a dog with a bone. Do you want to get yourself shot?
I can assure you the only things getting shot around here are the pheasant. And perhaps the odd grouse. Greetings, my lady. Lord James Panswick, at your disposal.
You're Lord Panswick?
As I live and breathe.
You could have told me that before.
What is life without mystery, Miss Bateman? A predictable stagger to the grave?
I was imagining someone...
Much older and far less handsome?
Yes, to be frank.
See? I can read your mind, my dear. Now, may I ask, what brings you to my manor?
I wanted to ask if I could borrow some of your labourers.
Oh? For what purpose?
I intend to excavate Hob's Barrow tomorrow, and I'm in need of some assistance.
An excavation? How very delightful. We're in the middle of our own works right this minute. Follow me, Miss Bateman. Come along. I promise I don't bite. For generations, this chapel was a place of unique devotion. And this was until some of my more ungrateful ancestors forgot him and abandoned it.
Why did they abandon it?
Men of great wealth and power can grow so comfortable that they forget they still need the divine. The sacrifices required to maintain such a relationship were no longer being made. The chapel soon turned to rubble, and with time, even the villagers forgot him. His influence endured, but only with the isolated few who lived on the very fringes of these moors. Believe it or not, my family's fortunes have dwindled ever since. Since I succeeded my father, it has become my life's work to restore this place of worship. With this sacred place rebuilt, he shall be venerated once more, and the name Panswick shall be uttered again across all of England. He guided the hands of my ancestors. Now it is time for him to guide us. Bewlay is a godless place.
Have you forgotten about St. Edmund's? Father Roach might disagree.
I shall bring him back to these lands, and this chapel shall be his seat once again. A new world.
But it seems like you wish to bring back the past.
From out of the old world shall come the new, a greater truth. But I digress. Horace, my dear fellow.
Aye, your lordship.
This fair lady here is in need of some assistance. Would you and your chaps be up for a spot of digging at Hob's Barrow tomorrow?
Hob's Barrow? Aye, your lordship, 'tis no bother.
Good man. You're in luck, my dear. These are my finest, and they're all yours.
Thank you. I am grateful.
On one condition.
Yes?
I've heard wonders about Mary de Plancy's Bakewell puddings. I'd rather like to try them for myself.
Your lordship, you're giving me the help of your men in exchange for cakes.
Yes.
But...
Farewell, my beauty.
Wait!
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy. Do you still have some of your homemade Bakewell puddings, Mrs. de Plancy?
Oh, you're too late, pet. I've a few left, but they're set aside for someone else.
Might you please be able to bake me some more?
Sorry, I'm not in the mood for baking. Truth be told, my dear husband Albert passed away recently. Me thoughts are all over the shop.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Aye, he's in God's hands now.
Were you married to Albert a long time?
Aye, too many years to count. He were the cobbler here in Bewlay, the most dashing cobbler in all of England, I used to tell him. Love is precious, pet. There's naught that can replace the hole it leaves in your heart.
I can relate to that in my own way. I wish you strength in this difficult time.
Thank you. With God's blessing, I'll get by.
May I ask who you have set aside the puddings for?
Oh, Father Roach. He won't be back until tomorrow.
Won't they be off by then?
Not at all. Besides, pet, as I told you, I'm not in the mood for all this baking chatter.
Sorry, Mrs. de Plancy. Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
The produce is not mine to take. The simple wooden cross bears a small plaque, on which is inscribed the name Albert de Plancy.
Relative, are you?
No, just looking.
He were the cobbler. Who's going to mend me boots now?
He looks like a rather shady character. Hello. My name is Thomasina, and you are...
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard. Dig the graves.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite. What can you tell me about Bewlay?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
Naught to say, except don't be sniffing around his lordship's manor. You'll end up with a round of shot in you.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. Just mind your own business around here.
Does this fresh grave belong to Mrs. de Plancy's late husband?
Aye.
Rather bare, isn't it?
My job is to dig the graves, not decorate them.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy. I saw your late husband's grave, Mrs. de Plancy. I am very sorry for your loss.
Thank you, pet. I'm ashamed to say I couldn't afford nowt more than a simple wooden cross. He were a colourful man, our Albert. He deserves better. He loved his flower beds. He's only been gone a fortnight, and already his plants have gone to rot. May the Lord forgive me.
Plants are difficult to maintain. I'm sure Albert would understand.
His precious hippeastrum were the first to go. I would have loved to lay one on his grave.
What does a hippeastrum flower look like?
Oh, beautiful things they are. Tall stems topped with large red flowers. Hard to grow in this climate. They were his pride and joy. The remarkable thing is there's no scent to 'em. That's why he loved 'em so much. You see, he hated anything that smelled sickly sweet. Hippeastrum were just perfect. Let me know if you come across one, won't you?
Of course, Mrs. de Plancy. Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
Thank you for bringing me here, Miss Tompkins.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I'll let her get on with her sweep, though what exactly she is sweeping up remains something of a mystery. These matched the description of the flowers Mrs. de Plancy mentioned. There's no scent.
You get away from my hippeastrum!
Ah, apologies.
Move!
Well, that confirms it. Good day.
Hello there.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Ralph. Not seen you around before.
I'm just visiting. What brings you to the market today?
I purchased a Scotch egg for me tea. You want a bite?
No, thank you. I'm looking for some help with an excavation tomorrow. Might you be interested?
Sorry, miss. I've already got my own job.
Enjoy your Scotch egg.
I will.
The road disappears over the horizon. I see nothing but moorland. The road disappears over the horizon. The bucket is rusty. I can't think of anything else to talk about.
Can I interest you in a pie? Finest mutton in all the county. 2p each.
No, thank you.
You're missing out.
I don't wish to give that away. I have nothing else to ask for the time being. Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman.
What else can you tell me about this sax knot?
Try not to worry yourself too much with these old stories. Leave those to the locals, Miss Bateman.
Have others spoken of goblins appearing in their dreams?
A dream is a dream, that is all. They merely make for good stories.
I know.
But to answer your question, no, not to my knowledge.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sure the locals have filled you in already, lass.
You cut quite the mysterious figure. Most had little to say.
It's true, I do tend to keep my head down. When one gets to my age, one grows very comfortable in one's home. I like the isolation of the moors. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I take it you don't get many visitors.
Oh no, nobody bothers me. That's the perk of living so far out, huh? Just me and me hens. I used to come into Bewlay more often, back before my health went to bugger, eh?
What do you think of Bewlay?
Whilst one could consider the villages to be rather unenlightened, this place has its charm. The market's in town today. You can see that folk want fun out here.
I know where I can find a Scotch egg, that's for certain.
Do treat yourself to one. You'll not taste better.
Is there anything else I should know about Hob's Barrow, Mr. Shoulder?
No, lass. I'm certain we will know a lot more about it by this time tomorrow.
I hope so. What do you make of Lord Panswick?
His lordship is an important man in Bewlay, as I'm sure you have gathered. His family has commanded much respect here for many generations.
Do you respect him as a leader?
I do. He wants the best for the village. Without his influence, the railway line would have never come through here.
Does he want more visitors?
Aye, I believe so. He has great ambitions for Bewlay and wants to share them with the world.
What do you make of Mildred Walker?
Who?
I believe she's also known as Mother Mildred.
Oh, we used to get about when we were children. Our paths have not crossed in a long while.
What do you think of Charles Bryden?
He is a decent man. It must have been hard for him after that terrible business with his brother.
Without a doubt. I must say I had assumed you had at least spoken to him about my visit.
Sorry, lass, I had no intention of giving you the runaround. Again, I can only apologise.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the nature of your ongoing illness?
Oh, just the ravages of age. Getting off this bench will be a small battle in itself. Something you won't need to worry about for many a year, Miss Bateman.
Growing old is a blessing and a curse. And what of your recent fever?
An ordeal it were. So much tossing and turning. But I'm right as rain now, especially after a mug of ale. Don't worry about me.
What are Lord Panswick's plans for Bewlay?
He's rebuilding an old chapel on his estate. He seeks to bring God back to these lands.
But what of St. Edmund's? I think Father Roach might argue God has never left.
Indeed. Let's leave such arguments to them, shall we?
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
The produce is not... Good day.
How did...
I'm afraid it's...
Hey, don't you be going around telling folk I'm handing out rotten apples.
Mutton pies!
There's nothing else I wished... Hello, Wally.
Go away! You gave the door back to my sister.
It wasn't very nice of you to bury her favourite toy, Wally.
I gave it to the fair folk, and you stole it back from them.
You don't really believe in fairies, do you? You're old enough to know better.
They're real, and thanks to you, I'm cursed.
There's no such thing as curses either, Wally.
Go away! Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. What does a hippie
Oh, beautiful tall stems topped with large red, hard to grow. They were his The remarkable thing is there's no scent to 'em. That's why he loved 'em. You see, he hated anything that smelled. Hippiastrum would just let me know if you come across.
Of course, Miss. Thanks for your...
Lord.
Hippiastrum. I'd like to take one for Mrs. de Plancy. Good day.
Hello.
I really need one of those Hippiastrum flowers.
Why?
It's a long story. Might you please be able to get one for me, or distract Miss Fenchurch so I can take one?
Those flowers are Miss Fenchurch's favourite. She spends hours looking after them. Sorry, Mum. It's just that I'm so worried about Mr. Ambrose.
The milkman?
Aye. We were to run away together today.
I see.
I'm worried sick that he stood me up. Without Mr. Ambrose, this job is all I have. I can't risk losing it over a flower.
I'm sorry, Miss Tompkins.
Do you think he's abandoned?
I'm sure that's not the case. He must have been delayed somewhere.
Could you try to find him for me, Mum? Oh, please, Mum. I'd do anything for you if you found my love.
I can try.
Oh, thank you. You're ever so kind, Mum.
Goodbye.
I'd best get back to work.
There we are. Your shells are looking much more interesting now. I pestered Mother for years to let me bring some of your treasures here. I think she's worried that I want to follow in your path. She has hidden most of your discoveries away. I had to beg her to bring me to visit you, you know. I shouldn't worry you with all that. Do you know that I have a story for each of these pots? Well, I don't know if they're all true, but they are my memories. Even though I was so young, I still remember our adventures together. Would you like me to share my memories of them? Well, I'm going to, whether you like it or not. Mother was so angry when you brought this one home, wasn't she? William, that simply will not do. It's taking up all the space on the mantelpiece. Once you moved it to your study, I remember creeping in to take a peek at it. We found this one together in that mucky old barrow near Avebury. I think it was the second time you'd taken me on a dig with you. I remember you bringing it up to your face to look inside and shrieking in horror. "There's a bloody rat in there," you screamed. I think you brought this one back from a trip abroad. I would have loved to go with you, but Mother didn't want me to. I remember you being so proud of it. It looks ancient. You were incredibly excited about this one. I hadn't gone on an expedition with you yet. You were so happy about it, showing it to Mother and I. You didn't stop talking about it for hours. I thought, how can Daddy be so excited over some old broken pottery? But it wasn't long until I understood. We talked about this one already. The red urn you buried in the garden for me. It seems like such a long time ago. This is from the first dig I remember you taking me on. The excavation of West Kennet Long Barrow. I found it wedged behind a stone as you ate your sandwich. You said, "Now there's a tiny urn for a tiny girl." I almost forgot. While I was searching for your pots in the shed, I found one of your manuscripts. I thought Mother had burnt all your notebooks, but she missed one. It was an account of barrows across the east of England. I managed to read it all before Mother took it away. Daddy, it was fascinating. I've decided that is what I want to do with my life. I'm going to travel the country, excavating and documenting my own finds. Well, as soon as I'm old enough to escape Mother, that is. When you're feeling better, we can go out on expeditions together again, just like we used to. I promise you'll get better, Daddy. I'll do whatever it takes to make it so. There's something ahead on the road. My God! Mr. Ambrose! I'm going to help you. Please hold still. I'm going to cut you free. He had been so tightly bound that I could barely cut through without hurting him further. His mouth was stuffed full of flowers of a most peculiar scent. I was dismayed at such savagery and wondered if the feral folk Father Roach had mentioned were responsible for this abhorrent act. After some considerable effort, I managed to cut him free. Are you all right?
Who were lost in visions of hell itself, the devil. I saw the devil.
Who did this to you?
I don't remember. Oh, the terrible sights I saw. I won't forget them till my last breath.
Are you Mr. Ambrose?
Yes, Edward Ambrose.
You were to meet Miss Tompkins today.
Aye, my love. Oh, my darling love.
Let me take you to her. Here, take my hand. As we made the arduous trek to Panswick Manor, I probed Mr. Ambrose on who had done this to him. He insisted that he didn't remember anything, except for his nightmarish visions.
My love.
Eddie! Jesus, what happened to you? Were you in a fight?
Now, fret not, my love.
I thought you'd abandoned me.
Never. Thank your friend here for helping me out of a bind.
Oh, Eddie!
Let's get out of here, my darling.
Hang on.
You thieving bint! I'll have your guts for garters!
Oh, stick it where the sun don't shine, you bitter old sow!
The cheek!
Here you are, Mum.
Thank you, Miss Tompkins.
No, thank you for finding my poor Eddie.
Aye, thank you, lass.
Let's go, Eddie. I'm never setting foot on this godforsaken estate again.
Good luck, you two.